Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to do a should you poll for the Tidus banner that is coming out tonight. So on this banner we are going to have Barret, so they're not all going to be on the same banner I don't think, but Barret, Queen, and Tidus are basically the characters we're looking at. These are all the LD characters or higher. Tidus is going to have his FR, I believe his BT will be on there as well, and then Barret is LD with just force enhancements. But he does get a rework, and then Queen is just force enhancements, nothing added. So let's go ahead and start with Barret. The easy answer is no, you should not summon for Barret. Barret, unless he's like a favorite, basically his rework, he's just doing more damage, he gets more dumps, he gets a little bit more competitive that way. The big thing with Barret is that he's basically like a critical damage support character. So he basically enables your party to do critical damage. The thing with Barret, his LD call is probably more valuable than him in the party. So if you want to have like a critical damage call, like he could be a call that you could bring, right? The thing is I don't see critical damage as really being a huge need in the game. Because anytime the enemy's broken, you're going to be crit hitting anyways. The only time where crit damage was really an issue was, I think, in some of the later Lufenia Plus fights. They had bosses that couldn't be broken and then required like critical hits. Those ones were kind of a pain. But like moving forward, I haven't looked enough ahead on Shinryu to know if like critical hits are going to be that important. But I really don't feel like Barret is going to make or break the game for you. So if you're pulling on this banner, don't be pulling solely for Barret. Unless you're just like a huge Final Fantasy VII fan and you just want to have him, then sure, go for it. But in terms of meta relevancy, how often you're going to use him, you're probably honestly not going to be using Barret. Next up is Queen. Same thing. Queen is a little bit of an older character at this point. She's really not getting any updates other than force enhancements. She can do some healing. She's got some support, but like, yeah, she's once again just not a character you're going to be using a lot. There are a lot better support and damage dealing type characters that you can run. There are characters that do things better than what Queen does. So once again, unless you're a huge fan of Queen, I wouldn't be pulling just for Queen. So Barret and Queen are basically no's for me on this banner. You shouldn't be summoning for them. Next up, we have Tidus FR. So now here's where we're going to go a little bit deeper into explanation. I think there's going to be, based on different scenarios, it's going to determine whether you're going to summon for him or not. I will do an updated character guide on Tidus later tonight when he comes out. But to basically summarize what his FR does, because the main kit of Tidus pretty much operates the same. He just gets more dumps and does more damage, okay? So if you're already familiar with Tidus, he pretty much operates the same, but what you all really want to know about is how his force works. So basically, during force time, you're going to increase the HP damage gauge two ways, either by taking free instant turn attacks or by attacking a debuffed enemy. So Tidus's big thing is that he does do debuffing, and he's a very fast, speedy character that takes a lot of free turns. The way his FR works, and you have to like this playstyle, it's kind of different than Cam and other FR characters, where other characters, like, they can set up their force time, but then other characters can maybe do better during the force time, or other characters can help enhance it. Tidus is what we would call, like, a selfish force character, in that he wants to carry his own force time. So what you would do is Tidus would activate his own force time, and then you would either go into Tidus's burst, or you would just spam his instant free turns. Honestly, I would just spam his instant free turns. He's a force time that I actually wouldn't do during a burst, because you're going to get more damage for instant free turns. Unless a burst phase, and I could be wrong on this, unless in a burst phase every attack counts as an instant free turn, which it might. But normally with Tidus, you want to be using quick hit or his LD. Those are the two that are technically instant free turns. And during a burst phase, you're going to be limited to only one use of those each. So you wouldn't be getting the full gauge. But I could be wrong. This is my first time. Like, I haven't experienced Tidus and JP. I don't play JP. So I'll test it out. We'll see if, like, just a normal burst time, if that counts as an instant turn. But I wouldn't think it does. But I could be wrong. But basically, the way I'm envisioning that you play Tidus is you basically would want to surround him with support. So you could surround him with, like, off-turn damage dealers. So maybe you've got Laguna and Cisne, or Cisne and Kane, or Kane and Freya. Surround him with characters like that, because he's doing a ton of free instant turns. Then you're getting all the off turn. He's building the HP damage bonus himself. That's pretty much the way you would operate with Tidus, right? Now, in terms of should you pull for Tidus or not, the instances I would say where you should pull, one is if Tidus is a favorite, Or if you've already invested, so like you can see my Tidus is green-blue. If you've already gone full investment, I think it is actually a very good investment to pick up the FR and just have that extra FR at hand if you have the resources to do it, since you've already invested. Now, you don't have to have Tidus as FR. If you just have him green-blue, you could flat out just skip. Don't even get the FR, and you could just use him during like cam setup or something like that if you wanted to, right? So his FR definitely isn't required. The main reason I would think that you'd want to pull, if you haven't invested in like a main FR yet, or you haven't invested in cam, Tidus could be a nice DPS option for you to pick up. Now, if you've already got the cam set up, if you've already invested in like Cam Machina, I would say Tidus is probably a skip. You really don't need him. I'm going to go for him just because I've got the resources to do it, and I like having more tools. Now, another good reason to pull for Tidus is he is very good in Dimensions End Tier 10. You can't cam it because I believe it blocks paralysis. So Tidus would be probably your next best like FR mega damage option to use in there, and I think that's what a lot of people are going to do. So if you're someone that's willing to pull for a character just to beat a very difficult event, you might want to pull for Tidus that way. Once again, it's going to be up to you. I would say this, like I said, it's going to vary depending on who you are. If you decide to pull for him, he is a very good character. He does a lot of damage, so he's not a bad investment. So Tidus is a good investment. You just have to judge based on your box what you want. If you're going to like this playstyle of having Tidus be your main damage dealer, you're setting him up with support, letting him do his own force time. The other reason I think some people will like Tidus is because I don't think cam setup is that bad, like once you get used to it, but it does take a little bit of setup. Tidus is a lot less setup. You literally can just put on some calls from your party members, set up off-turn damage, whatever you want to do, but you literally can just jump right in the force time and go to town because he fulfills everything he needs for his force time, right? So anyways, guys, there you go. That's my opinion on this banner. Let me know if you're going to pull or not. I will be doing some pulls tonight. Let me know what you guys think of Tidus. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.